I forget to take out my chicken to tour today. Some days I take out the wrong pack, some days I forget. That's what happens when you're getting young. So I had to make a vegetarian dish today, and my family is meat mouths. So this is grind dal with a little bit of wheat flour, paprika, turmeric, jeera, salt, a little bit of baking powder, and I added a little bit of cream of wheat. I whisked up all the dry ingredients first to mix it well, and then I added some water little by little to get it into a runny liquid batter, because if you add too much water at one time, it's gonna get a little lumpy. So you mix all the dry ingredients first and then add little by little water and put in some elbow grease there and whisk it up so that it forms a smooth batter. Then I'm chopping up some vegetables like celery, shadow benny, sweet peppers, and tomatoes to add to this batter. I added some pimento peppers and also one green chili. So to this I seasoned it with some salt, brown sugar, and some black pepper, fresh cracked black pepper, and I'm gonna add that into the batter and again whisk it up and stir it in. This recipe is adapted from an Indian dish called besan ka chila. It's like an Indian pancake. So they use besan flour, which is I think gram flour, which is maybe chana flour, but I use grind dal instead. And I added some regular wheat flour to mine. And I didn't make it like a pancake. I kind of flash fried it, deep fried it. So because I did my vegetables chunky, I'm kind of using the whisk to kind of smash it into the batter. So I'm grating some cheese here because when it's finished frying, I need to top it up with cheese as it's hot, so the cheese will partially melt on it. So this is me frying the first set here. The shapes are a bit irregular because I just use a ladle and pour it into the oil. But you just fry it for about a minute on each side on medium to high heat until it becomes golden brown. And then you put it on some greaseproof paper and add your cheese. If you want to use the traditional method of making it a more dense dough, you could add more flour to it, but I wanted more of the dal taste in it, so that's why the batter is a little more runny, and that's why I use the ladle to put it into the oil. So it's kind of like a pakora or a sahina kachori. It's a base like that. But the Indian method is they just lightly brush the griddle or the pan with oil and they spread it out like a thin layer and make it like a pancake and then flip it over. But I didn't have the time to do it like that, so I just kind of deep fried it. So this is the method I would use to put it into the oil with the ladle. Because somehow I'm kind of bad lucky with frying. I always get some kind of splash of burnt oil on me. So this is why I am using this method. It's safer. So after it's finished frying and I put in the other set, I now come and top it up with a little splash of ketchup and put the cheese on it, and it melts up nicely. In the Indian cooking, they use chutneys, green chutneys, tamarind chutneys, but I had it with ketchup and cheese, and it was really yummy. My son loved this dish. Today, my husband made his famous curry stew chicken with the chicken that I had outside. You can have this as an appetizer or as a meal. We had it for brunch while working, watching the game, repairing the roof from all this rain and leaks.